Hello students, in this tutorial we look at an example in which we connect to a MySQL database from a Python program. First of all, let us assume that we have a database by name school on our system, which has two tables, one with the name student having columns roll number, name, city, class, stream, and another with name test marks having columns roll number, subject, and marks. We will connect from our Python program to this database. Now, what tools do we need in our program for connecting with the database? First of all, we need to install a package on our Python installation, which is called MySQL connector. To install this package, you can run the command python-m pip install MySQL connector from the command prompt of your Windows computer. Once this package has been installed, then you have to import the MySQL connector module from this package into your program using the import statement as shown in this example program. Now, the next thing we need is two special objects are needed. The first object will be used for establishing the connection with the database, and the second object will be used for executing the query on the database. Now, the first object we will name it as conn underscore object, standing for connection object, and the second object we will name a query underscore ob, standing for query object. You can name them any way you like. Now, the connection object will be created using the connect function of the MySQL connector module as shown in the second line of the program. This connect function takes four argument variables. The first being the host. The host, the connect function can establish a connection with any database on any machine using the internet, but since in this example we are assuming that the database is placed on our local machine only, so we are mentioning the host name as localhost. Then the database name is specified in the argument variable by the name database, which is school in our example. Then the name of the user of the database, which in this example is root, and then we have to provide the password in the argument named password. Once this connection object is established, although we should check first whether the connection is actually established or some error has occurred, but to keep things simple, we are not doing that, and we are assuming that the connection is established. Now, after this connection object is created, we need the query object. Remember that the connection object was created from the MySQL connector module's connect function, okay, and the query object will be created from the connection object. Now, the function which creates this query object is by the name cursor. Okay, the name of the function is cursor function. Actually, it provides an object which works as a cursor in our database, and we can retrieve data from it, and we can write data also using this object. Okay, because we will be running our queries with this object, so we have named it query underscore ob, standing for query object. You can name it any way, like any ordinary variable. You may name it a, b, x, y, anything. Now, the next function we need, once this query object is created, the next function we use to connect to run the query is the execute function. Now, this execute function takes one parameter, which is the query you want to run. Now, the question arises how to write the query in the Python program. look carefully, as in this example you must provide your query in the form of a string. Like see, we have enclosed the query inside single quotes, which means it is a string. So the query select star from student, which is a simple query, and even the semicolon is enclosed in a string and is being passed to the execute function of the query object. Once this execute function has completed its job, that means the query has been run. And now if the query has been run on the database, and we expect that the data has been brought into our program, then how to access that data? Where is the data placed in our program? So the answer to this is that the data is placed in the query object itself. See, we performed our query using the query object, and we are saying that the result of the query is also placed inside the query object itself. Now how to access individual records in the result of the query? For this we are running a for loop. Look closely at the for loop line in the program. It is for row in query object. This loop indicates that the result we are looking for is in the query object only. Okay, so and the loop variable row acts as a temporary tuple inside. The tuples of the result of the query are placed one by one, and inside the loop we are printing that tuple. Okay, so this is the complete program which connects to a database on your system and brings and runs a query on the MySQL database from the Python program, and shows the result of the database line by line in your program using the print function. Thank you.